I was born in New York City and moved to California in 1970. And around 1974, I started doing a lot of inner work with myself, meditating, seeking more peace and sense of love in my being. And through several trips to India and being with many saints and gurus and masters, I started evolving a way of being, a ground of being, and started developing Tantra, reading a lot of books about Tantra. And now I'm teaching workshops in different cities, and we'll be doing one here in New York City next week. The most important thing in the tantric ritual is for both partners to see one another as God and Goddess. Just today, I was reading in the New York Magazine that last year there was a higher rate of divorces than marriages in this city. And coming over here yesterday, I saw the film on the plane, Kramer versus Kramer, and so I'm really looking at the state of affairs of relationships today. Couples are breaking up. Countries are at war with one another. People are not getting along right here in this world. And the reason why is that they are relating to one another on the personality level. What do I mean when I say the personality? Well, you can look at someone and say, I don't like him because he's stupid, or that person's intellectual, or that person's very witty, or that person's attractive, or you don't like the way he looks. All of these different things we see as the personality. The word personality comes from the Greek word persona, which means mask. And when we're in our persona, we're in our images, our masks of how we see people. And you know that your different personalities when you are in different roles in life. When you're with your partner, you're one personality. When you're with your boss, you're another personality. Your different personalities with different friends, sometimes to even match their personality. So we have all of these different masks, all of these different facades that we wear, and we think that they're real. We think that that's who we are. Now, there's someone behind the personality. There's a being behind the personality. You can call it the essence, the soul, the inner self. And that being is the witness that's watching the whole movie, watching the whole show of who you are. And sometimes when you talk to somebody, you can watch yourself talking. Well, that's the witness. That's the part where you're totally in a state of being. The being does not see differences between people. There's no judgment. There's no feeling of separation. There's no feeling of alienation with someone who's in a state of being. There's a sense of unity, of oneness. There's this sutra in one of the tantric teachings. A sutra is a teaching which reads as follows. This is several thousand years old. As waves come with water and flames with fire, so the universal waves with us. Okay, what does that mean? Think of the personality as a wave. And there are some waves that are large, some that are small, some that move fast. They're all unique. Some move slower. They're all unique. They all move at different ways. They all are individuals. Okay, but all of these waves are connected to the ocean. They're all one, having a sense of oneness with the ocean. So the sutra reads, as waves come with water and flames with fire, different flames are all part of the fire, so the universal waves with us. So all of us are just waves in a cosmic ocean. We're all, deep down, we're all one. It sounds like words, but just try to look at how humanity is one spirit, how we're all connected. Through tantric practice, one begins to sense that deep inner connection that you have with your partner. And when people begin spiritual growth, spiritual work, the spiritual work begins with the question, who am I? And if I ask you who you are, you'll probably say, my name is so-and-so, I live in the Lower East Side of Manhattan, I do such and such for a living. Those are all concepts of who you think you are. They're not you. They're simply labels. Concepts keep you from getting in touch with your inner self. If I ask you to look at a room, what do you see? You see the furniture in the room, you see the walls in the room, but that's not the room. The walls are the boundaries of the room. So too, we're not our bodies, we're not our name, we're not our job. That's just boundaries. Those are just forms of who we are. And Tantra is what is getting in touch with that inner self, getting in touch with that essence, that space, so to speak. It's like the space in a room. A room is just roomness. It's not who we are. And there's a lovely piece of music, if the person behind the controls can play it, that I play in my workshop. And while that music is playing, I'd like to tell a story about who we think we are. I heard this from a guru in India. One day there were some gods and goddesses hanging out in heaven. That's what gods and goddesses do. And they're just all playing gods and goddesses. And after a while, they got bored with the game, so they decided to create a leela. A leela in Hindu means a game of life. And so they picked different personalities on pieces of paper. One personality said, a lady who could reach numbers on chakras, Millie. And then there's another personality that said, director of the show, and another personality, student of Tantra, and another personality, person watching a TV show, lady from California. All these different personalities. And they wrote them on pieces of paper. And they put papers in a hat, and all the gods and goddesses picked a paper, and they decided to play that personality, and they went down to earth to play the personality. And the only problem is that they got so caught up in who they thought they were, they forgot where they came from. And Tantra is about reminding you of where you began, so that you won't get stuck in who you think you are in all those games, and start being who you really are.